Close enough. All right, evening, folks. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for Lacey Death and Taxes. Today we are going to be playing a Chandra Stompy deck. So, after playing with this card for the first time as a 1-of, I made it into a 2-of, and then I made it into a 3-of. And then I thought, you know, this isn't a sideboard card. This card should just be in the main deck. So, I sat down to make this deck list tonight, and I went to go and look to see if anyone else had gotten the memo that, like, this card's really good and it should be in the main deck. And someone did. So this is from one of the Haruya events. It is by Ikeda Takahiro. And this is really close to what I wanted to play, so I decided to just run with this tonight. So the idea here is that we go back to a more traditional red prison build, emphasizing the prison elements with a whopping 4 ensnaring bridge. You are looking to drag the game on. We have Blood Moon and Blood Sun here. Blood Sun not super traditional, but quite good at powering out your 6-mana bomb. So Blood Sun is going to make it so your City of Traders don't disappear, and I believe also so your Ancient Tombs don't hurt you. So it's quite powerful at letting you still play a hate piece while accelerating this out. And sometimes your Blood Moons and Magus of the Moons work against you, so that's what's going on here. For all the derpy blue decks that are running around, this one, like this card, pluses once or twice, and they just can't beat it. If you're trying to win with an anemic clock like Snapcaster Mage or Baleful Strix, this really doesn't do it. Dr. Bill and Kafegrut, thank you both for your continued support. 17 and 13 months respectively. That is basically forever, and most of the time that I've been streaming. Thank you for that. The big thing that I'm trying out here that's new to me is Seasoned Pyromancer. So when at ETB, you discard 2 cards, then you draw 2 cards. So if you're Hellbent, it just says draw 2 cards. For each non-land card you discard, you get a 1/1 elemental, and you can pay 5 mana and exile this from your graveyard to get 2 1/1 red elementals. So why play a version of the deck that looks like this? You're essentially saying, I would like to beat control decks. I would like to beat these slow, fair blue decks into a pulp. What are you giving up by doing a deck list like this one? You're losing percentage points to combo. You're not playing War Boss to have your other piece of fast clock, and you're dropping a few of the Trinispheres in order to fit other things in here. So the version of the deck list that I was going to run was 4 cards different, and so I just decided to run this. I think I had 2 more Trinispheres and 2 Abrades in the main deck, and then everything else I had was the same. So I just decided to run this and see how I like this configuration. My sideboard was way different, though. This sideboard plan is interesting. So you have Dead Gone as both creature removal and specifically Merit Lodge removal. You have Thought-Knot Seers for your combo matchups rather than Scab Clan Berserkers, which I have mixed feelings on, but I want to see how it goes in action. And rather than the traditional playset of Leylines, this one just has 2 Relics of Progenitus, which I'm not really a fan of. But if I'm sold on, 56 of the 60 main deck, I might as well try their sideboard and see how it goes. Am I echoey? I'm not doing anything different than normal. I hope I'm not too echoey. Someone in chat confirm? Violently echoey. That's no good. But no echo for someone else. Felchmaster, maybe try refreshing? I'm not dropping any frames or anything. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Alright. Why don't we just jump into a league and see how we're doing here. pretty pumped to be playing some Legacy. Format's really interesting right now. I personally am seeing a whole lot of snow-covered swamp. That card seems to be picking up in popularity for me. I've been seeing a lot of depths, a lot of pox, and a lot of 3 to 4 color control. So I think the last league that I recorded, I think I played against snow-covered swamp in 4 of my 5 rounds, or something like that. Yeah, Legacy is very interesting right now. All right, and we're playing against the Strifo pile with our pile of Chandras. We're gonna get him. Keep. I accept my turn 2 Moon opening hand. I'm not playing into Spell Pierce that hard. I'm gonna do it next turn. That may be me playing scared and like making my Blood Moon slightly worse. But I'm just not... I'm not willing to go and potentially set myself up for a 3-for-1. Jeez, is GP Atlanta in a month? Yikes. The good news is, any turn we draw a Chandra, we're ready for it. Is Miracles a decent deck right now? Like, I mean, I obviously know it's not a bad deck, right? Like, by any stretch of the imagination. But is it actually good? I haven't seen it much online. I mean, playing what you got is a huge part of Legacy. I mean, I'm with you. Yeah, you know, I've been doing D&T for daily D&T, but there haven't been a ton of actual D&T streams recently. I think the format's in an interesting spot, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's in the most healthy spot for every single deck out there. I don't think it's worth going so deep as to actually sell out of D&T or anything. But it definitely feels worse than it has at other times. We're doing pretty good on the flood side of things. That was beautiful. That's no good. I'm getting super punished for throwing the Fiery Confluence at my opponent's face. At the time, I assumed that was actively a good play because my opponent would be looting towards Force of Will, and I wanted to resolve that come endgame. But that did not work out. Maybe I lost that one for being too scared on turn 1. So, what do I want to play? Yeah, I mean, a billion lands there did not help. I think this is going to be a case where I'm going to have plenty of good cards. So I need to identify what cards are bad. I don't necessarily think that I want my Ensnaring Bridges. I think that's going to be my first point of cutting. I think Sorcerous Spyglass for my opponent's Dak Vaden is pretty good. I think Chalice of the Void is medium at best against my opponent's deck. They just have so many ways to answer Chalice. Kolaghan's Command, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, things of that nature, and varied converted mana costs that I don't necessarily think this is where I need to be, especially on the draw. So it might just be better for me to do something like board in another Trinisphere, board in a couple of relics, and maybe some Thought-Knot Seers to round things out. So I'd get Spyglass, Ratchet Bomb, and then just attacking my opponent's creatures as outs to their Planeswalkers. That seems fine. I forget, does 4-color pile play True Name Nemesis? Sometimes? The deck's very flexible in what you're doing with it. I will be keeping this one. And going for a turn 2 Blood Sun, I believe. Rather than Blood Moon. Yeah, definitely. I'm still going to go ahead and take 2 here to Blood Sun. Alright, so now we need our second red mana, and then I'm good to go. Very, very good to go. The other thing I can do is just say, slam Blood Moon here and take my time in playing out the rest of my hand, since my opponent has double non-basics. I think I'm actually going to do that. I expect my opponent to float mana for either Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy. Nope. Mother... Well, that is devastating, and something I was not playing around. Super punished for not just jamming a Thought Knot that turn. But maybe we'll play Chandra, Awaken Inferno next turn, and I'll feel better about everything. Alright, I will take your Plague Engineer. It is your only piece of gas. Feeling pretty good about life. I'm going to hurt myself a lot with these Ancient Tombs, but so be it. Do I just ignore the Ren 6 and just go face here? It feels like a go face moment. So how much damage is this? 4, 8, 9, 10 damage. If I send the Thought Knot Seer here, it's 4, 5, 6. Then next turn, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, so not lethal. Yeah, let's just send it the face. Alright, so we got there that time. Anything change when I'm on the draw? Can consider the other Ratchet Bomb on the draw, just to have more answers to the Dirk Planeswalkers my opponent can put in at the beginning of the game. Trinisphere does get a little worse on the draw, admittedly. And the Thought Knot Seers did feel good that game, so maybe I would like another one. Even though it's worse on the draw, it's still powerful. Let's ship it like this. Yeah, we're essentially a Blood Moon, Blood Sun, Chandra, Awake Inferno, Stompy deck. Will I YOLO turn 1 Blood Moon on the draw when the rest of my hand is garbage? And I know my opponent plays Force of Vigor? Yes. They can't always have it, right? There are draws that can make me reconsider playing the Blood Moon on turn 1. That actually just makes me more likely to want to do it. Let's go! Alright, it resolves. Great news for me. Probably less great news for my opponent. Alright, that is a great sideboard card. that occurs. Saw away. Alright, so it looks like our Blood Sun's resolving. That gives us a little more gas. Super vulnerable to a Force of Vigor, taking both my Relic and Blood Sun right now. Otherwise, things are looking okay. Dak Faden stealing my Relic would be a little annoying. I could discard the Seasoned Pyromancer for value. But I think I'd rather just get that effect twice. No, I'll discard this for value. How much is this? 5, so I can't do that yet. So let's just dome my opponent for 6. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's here. Okay, so I do still take 2 from the Ancient Tomb. I got you an emblem, Stryfo. I hope you like it. Snapcaster Hydroblast is the cleanest answer to this, but then the emblem is still a problem, especially with the Fiery Confluence here to half my opponent's life total almost instantly. Yeah, just unbeatable emblem. Plus once, the game is over. Good game, Stryfo. Good game. Yeah, the Blood Sun City of Traders combo is really nice. And that's kind of one of the reasons, well, really it's the primary reason that Blood Sun is in the Flex lock piece slot over Magus of the Moon. And it's possible there should even be more Blood Suns in the deck. I think these are the 4 flex slots in the deck. I'm really happy with everything else that's here, and I wouldn't want to adjust those numbers. And I guess you could make an argument for Ensnaring Bridge 4 also being a flex slot because of... Or no, this one doesn't have Karn. Sorry. No, that's not a flex slot then. I built one hybrid list that had some Karns in these slots, and then I discarded it. Yeah, but that match, very clearly an indication of the power level of Chandra Awakened Inferno, and why I want to be playing this card in my main deck instead of the sideboard. Turn 1 Blood Moon or Trinosphere? Keep! Turn 1 Trinosphere. Ooh. That is a decision point now. Good game, Strifo. That Force of Vigor in, was it game 2, was absolutely backbreaking. Yeah, the whole Blood Sun plus City of Traders combo to go and make my my Chandra Awaken Inferno castable as quickly as possible is just great. So now I'm going to be hoping to draw an Ensnaring Bridge this game. And I think I need to play my Blood Moon here so that I don't keep taking damage from my Ancient Tomb. I know my opponent has double basics. Alright, yeah, we are basically 100% in on drawing a bridge. A way to answer the Stoneforge Mystic this turn would be acceptable as well. That's going to be too slow this game because I played Blood Moon. But should I draw an Ensnaring Bridge, that is a great backup plan. Romario, my Chrome Mox also is not fantastic as the game goes on. Jeez, is my opponent playing fetches? Just like natural, all basics all the time. Alright. So, plans. Draw Ensnaring Bridge, go Hellbent. Draw red card, put in Chandra. Prophet, question mark, still died a True Name Nemesis, because that card's obnoxious. Bridge isn't out if my opponent's dumb. We've got to consider that. That's a shame. Alright, so how do I want to board against Stoneblade? This matchup's hard. Like your disruption just doesn't line up particularly well with what they've got going on. And Batterskull's just like such a good way to beat up like the Goblin Rabble Master side of this deck. So I'm probably going to junk all of my Rabble Masters and try to win mostly via Planeswalkers. And just kind of locking my opponent out. I want my Sorcerer Spyglasses. I want my Ratchet Bombs. And then this is some of the other stuff that I can consider to fill slots. Even though these cards aren't necessarily fantastic, I still more or less think it's correct to keep them in on the play. On the draw, I might reconsider at least some of this. How good is this really going to be? Like my opponent's going to have exile-based removal. This actually might not be fantastic. I wonder if it's better to just play a couple of Thought-Knot Seers instead in that spot, or maybe even Chandra Pyromaster. I'm not going to be very good at answering a Jace if I board out my Rabbles and these. But I think I'm going to accept that. This hand is not going anywhere fast, but it has the potential to be very insane if I draw a soul land. Like turn 2 Chalice, turn 3 Thought Not Seer, or Chandra is just such a great potential, like, part of a hand that I think I need to just, like, keep this. This Blood Moon is awkward with the double Thought Not Seer that I have in hand. That is admittedly a problem. Opponent has some decision point here. I wonder if this is a, like, do I jam Stoneforge or do I just play a cantrip sort of situation? Yeah, it seems like that's exactly what it was. Soul Land's so good. Well, that's not a Soul Land, but it's still very good. Alright. They had double Counterspell. Not a lot to be done there. Hopefully they do what they did before and try to, like, and decide to take some action that is not putting Batterskull into play. Colorless land for Thought Not Seer is so strong. Nope. So instead, I'm going to Blood Moon myself off of my Thought Not Seers. Hopefully they counterspell this. They did not. That is unfortunate for me. Hopefully they'll answer it. Because I can just, like, play a True Name Nemesis here, and my Ensnaring Bridges are going to be problematic as this game goes on. This is actually pretty good. So a red Eldrazi deck would want to play Grove of the Burnwillows, but I don't think this deck does because we are a Blood Moon deck. The red Eldrazi deck is only a Blood Sun deck. So it looks like I'm going to be using this Ratchet Bomb to blow up my Blood Moon and their True Name Nemesis. Yep. Not having access to a colorless land is losing us this game. Another mana source also would be pretty stellar. Oh god, Force of Negation. I can't really beat that. This is unfortunate. So I can Ratchet Bomb, blow this up, blow up my Blood Moon. Chrome Mox, Imprint, Blood Sun, cast Fiery Confluence. Fiery Confluence will get countered. So we'll go 2 damage to each creature, destroy target artifact, cast, destroy this artifact. Pay 1, 2, 3, 4. My opponent will Force of Negation this. Yeah, then I blow up their true name. They kill me with the stuff that's left. Alright. Good games. The Stoneblade matchup is really hard. Like, you just can't really play Red Prison in a time when Stoneblade is popular. Because they have enough creatures that they don't really care about Chalice of the Void. Some of their threats are very efficient. So, like, they play a Stoneforge Mystic, and then they threaten Batterskull even without having a third land, and without needing to cast any more spells. They can just get you. Batterskull invalidates the Rabble Master Plan, and Jace is good against your deck in the first place. So, like, you don't want to play against Stoneblade. Keep. I don't know what Eric's playing today. Well, let's see if Blood Moon's good against it. Does he play Ant? Is this like a Turbo Depths deck? Oh, nope. It's just the usual BS. So I can beat Grizzlebrand by top decking a bridge over the next 3 turns. But that's basically all I've got. Cabal Therapy target themselves. Alright, they name Ashen Rider. Yeah, alright. I'm just gonna scoop that up there. I'm not beating that. So we don't have ley lines, we don't have Tormod's Crypt, so we're definitely at a disadvantage in this matchup as opposed to normal. We'll play our Relics, we'll play our Trinispheres, we'll play Spyglass for Grizzlebrand, we'll probably Thought-Knot Seer, Endbringer Dead Gone are questionable. We'll see where we're at and what cards are bad. I think Blood Moon is pretty worthless. Blood Sun is also pretty weak. Ratchet Bomb, way too slow. Chandra Awakened Inferno, also not the best way to go and close out a game. I don't want to have to get to 6 mana to go and destroy my opponent. I do need to keep some things that can win me the game with Ensnaring Bridge in play. It's not the best Seasoned Pyromancer matchup either. So how many ways to win the game do I have? So I have Thought-Knots, Rabbles, Spirit Guides, Chandras if I board like this. I guess this is enough threats. I would like to play first. Ensnaring Bridge is probably my best card in the matchup, but I can't play it on turn 1, and so it's just going to be vulnerable to discard. I think this one's a mulligan. Turn 1, crappy discard? Or sorry, crappy Graveyard Hate? I guess that's good enough. This is not a good Graveyard Hate card for this matchup, and this was one of the things that I talked about before the stream, that I didn't really think that like the Graveyard Hate that was here was appropriate. So like my opponent can 100% just go off through this turn. So just imagine that if this was a Tormod's Crypt or a Leyline, the sort of like different position that I would be in right now. Why did I play it over Crypt? Because this was the deck list that won the really big event at Hareruya. So that's why. At the end of this stream, I'm gonna like build this deck like I think it should be built, and then I'll run that next time. But this card was 56 of the 60 that I wanted to be playing main deck. So I figured it was worth just playing that deck. That's a great play. And Ensnaring Bridge is my out, and that eliminates it. Good game. Yeah, so in my conceptual version of this deck list, I had 3 Trinispheres, 2 Abrades for main deck. My sideboard was way different. I'm not really sure that these Thought-Knot Seers are actually better than other options that are available. Like, there's real awkwardness with Blood Moon, and I don't know that they're actually better than Scab Clan Berserkers for combo. It's different. Okay, so this hand's a keep. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing with it. I have 4 mana available to me on turn 1. I think I just want to Blood Sun on turn 1 to keep my mana around indefinitely, and then go from there. I F6'd, and then I immediately un-F6'd in case I drew another Spirit Guide. Then I could also Chalice on turn 1. Hey, Bob. So we were probably playing against 4-color Loam. In which case, going and putting a Chalice on 2 is actually pretty nuts. So I could have 5 mana this turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Chalice on 2 right now. Shut off Wrenn and 6, shut off Punishing Fire, shut off Assassin's Trophy, shut off more Bobs, and then go from here. I'm going to hope that the combination of these cards mitigates what Bob is doing. Lily of the Veil. That's quite good against me. We're going to go ahead and discard my Seasoned Pyromancer. Ooh, interesting. My opponent discarded Abrupt Decay, which seems like something that would be very good given the board, and I don't think my opponent was supposed to attack there to give themselves an out to me playing a Goblin Rappelmaster. Like, they would have had the clean out of block the token with Bob, and then Lily minus this. Now they're going to need 2 cards to get rid of it, one of which has to be a non-2 removal spell. I wonder if they'll keep plussing. Sputteroni, thank you very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the Legacy content. Good play. Good play. So we'll see if they even choose to activate the Liliana at all. They do. Good news for me that I'm just going to get more value out of the graveyard later as this game drags on. One damage to each creature. Destroy target artifact twice. Let's see how this this turns out. Let's take a look at the board state when this is done. Choose target artifact. Choose target artifact. 1, 2, 3, 4. This feels strong. I expected the snap concession right there. Yeah, okay, there we go. They gave me one more priority pass. Okay, so what do I want against Loam? Spyglass for Planeswalkers is good. Ratchet Bombs for Moxen, good. Chalice can go on 2. and be fine, or go on 0 when I'm on the play, but it's not necessarily the best. I have kind of mixed feelings on some of this stuff for this matchup. Relic's probably fine. Trinosphere is probably actively bad. I really want my moons in play in this matchup, so maybe I'm not supposed to do this stuff. I'm still at 61 cards, so I have to make one cut anyway. Just in order to board these in. Maybe it's just like randomly one Chromox out or something like that. The thing that worries me about these colorless cards is that they're just going to get stuck in my hand and make my ensnaring bridge worse. I guess I also could have considered Dead Gone to have more answers to Bob. I'm not sure what I would cut, though. Like, I need some amount of creatures to pressure my opponent's planeswalkers. So I don't think I can just go full prison, cut my remaining 7 creatures, and play, like, 3 Dead Gones or something like that. And I think my creatures that are there all present enough potential value that it's correct to keep them. I could just, like, cut 3 Chromox for 3 Dead Gone and give myself fewer options to accelerate into my threats. That's potentially fine as well. Don't think I have enough mana to make this hand work. I think an average 6-card hand is probably better than this risky 7-card hand. It's crazy if I draw a Soul Land, but otherwise pretty mediocre. This hand sucks as well. Wow. I will take a 4 over this. Still very unhappy. Have to keep this one, though, I think. So I get 4 of these. So it probably needs to be Ancient Tomb, Spirit Guide, Blood Sun, plus 1 other card. I guess my bridge and try to make this game go long. Or it can be Chromox to give myself a persistent red source. This is going back. This is going back, and then it's Bridge versus Mox for the last one. The Blood Sun is saying. So I'm keeping Tomb, Spirit Guide, Blood Sun for sure. And it's a question of, do I keep this Mox or do I keep this Bridge? Assuming that my opponent has boarded out maybe some number of their creatures, I think that's correct. I have a lot of things that are going to ruin me. But let's be optimistic. See if I can do something with this. Okay. This is fine. What do you got for me, Bob? Verdant Catacombs. That is a dead card right now. I'm super happy if that's all my opponent has for me right now. Because I'm in, like, top deck Planeswalker takeover game mode, if that is the case. Alright. I think we're going to name Knight of the Reliquary. We're definitely scared. In that my opponent drawing another non-fetch land means that I'm going to have a decent number of bodies to worry about. Hopefully those bodies stay under 3/3s, though, so Fiery Confluence can keep them at bay. And I think that's all they've got, unless they want to throw Punish Fire in my face. Oh no, they drew another card. Alright, they drew Barrenmore. Hello and welcome, Tom. The red symbol is not particularly strong. Not right now, anyway. Well, I was hoping to draw something that I could play this turn, but that is acceptable. It's going to at least stop the Bob from attacking. Apparently, I nuked that just literally one turn too early. I mean, if you're a fan of bullying, like, we're shutting off a Verdant Catacomb on our Moldifor, which is keeping my opponent from deploying the vast majority of their hand. So we've got that going for us. I mean, to be fair, bullying is a big deal in most of my streams. Chandra is a great draw. Fire Confluence is a great draw. Ensnaring Bridge is a great draw. Land is even fine because, like, I can just, like, play land, play Seasoned Pyromancer, draw 2 cards, and then go from there. Any card with Chandra in the name is pretty acceptable. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Go to discard a Knight of the Reliquary rather than, like, Life from the Loam? I'm a little confused, but okay. Oh my god. That's so good. I can't cast either this turn, but for the future, super stoked. Hey, any Chandra is good. Punishing Fire. Send it to the graveyard. Good job. Sylvan Library is a very powerful draw here, given how much the Blood Sun is mucking with my opponent's draws. This is what we call foreshadowing. See, I've learned as a streamer, if you want to have good moments of like, got him, of like you hitting your weird outs, you gotta say it beforehand. Yeah, call the shots all the time, and then you sound like a genius every time it works out. If I play this Rabble Master right now, it costs me 2 life, and my opponent just Swords to Plowshares it. So I don't think it's correct to just jam this yet. Fiery Confluence is such a hot draw. Like, nuking these Mox Diamonds would be such big game. So my opponent probably gets to go and play a Knight of the Reliquary this turn. Lemming Messiah, thank you very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the bullying. So my opponent is still going to get to hold up Swords to Plowshares. Oh. Ratchet Bomb's great. Like, Ratchet Bomb, blow up, double Mox Diamond. I love, love, love that. So I can go 4 mana Chandra, Chandra minus the Knight, 2 mana Ratchet Bomb, blow up, double Mox Diamond. I guess the question is, do I want to plus the Chandra for mana? No, I think I'm just going to see what's there and take the 2 damage unless my top card is absolutely insane. No, it's just a snow-covered mountain. I will keep this one. I will blow up your Knight. I'm even safe from a cycle land right now. Nice. Ratchet Bomb. No, I'm cruising through a league right now. Thanks for the offer, though. Ratchet Bomb. Blow up that Mox. Blow up that other Mox. They're even different art, so it feels even better. My opponent, after all their work, is now back down to 2 lands, and it's going to be much harder for them to hold up their Swords to Plowshares, so I might actually get to hit with this Goblin Rabble Master. or at least generate a single goblin with it. Then at some point, I'm also going to get the flashback from this. I may take that as soon as this turn. Was that trying to cast a Knight of the Reliquary and realizing they don't have the right colors? Feels like a yes. I can just 5, make 2 elementals this turn, which is what I'm going to do unless this card is good. It is just another land. Wait, hold on. Can I do this at any time? I can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can just do that on my opponent's turn. Well, that's really cool. I'll just pass the turn then. Again, I know my opponent has Swords of Plowshare, so I don't need to ram my Goblin Rabblemaster into it. For a person new to Legacy, what deck would you recommend to help learn? I would try to pick some deck that's relatively linear when you're first starting and learn to play against a bunch of decks with that deck. Then go from there. So for example, if you take something like Sneak and Show that has a somewhat straightforward combo, it can let you figure out your game plan while also learning things about opposing decks. So I would pick some relatively straightforward deck. Seems weird to take the damage from Sylvan Library and then just hold up nothing? Question mark? Like they're at 7. It seems like at some point they've got to just go and respect their life total. Ooh. I'm just going to take the damage off that. I'm going to go ahead and cycle this. That's good to have in the tank. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this to a Swords to Plowshares now. I think I've waited long enough on that one. Yeah, so other decks that might be good to learn with that are like relatively linear in what they do would maybe be something like Reanimator or Burn. If you're relatively used to like high-level Magic from other formats, you can pick a higher starting point than decks like those. But that's my suggestion. Find something that's linear, does one thing really well, and then go from there. I would like to play first. Turn 1 Chalice. Keep. Chancellor of the Annex, you say. So I can turn 2 Chalice with Spirit Guide protection. GG's. It was an interesting match. Like, when you get to the point where you're getting to, like, fight over Moxen and things like that, I think the games get kind of interesting. I think it's an angle of attack that not enough people use against 4-color Loam, because the deck is surprisingly soft to their Moxen being taken. What's 2 mana? Oh, I see. So they have another unmask there, so they can unmask my bridge, and then I'm in bad shape. Don't know how much I love the second set of draw 7s, because that leaves them dead to Soul Land plus Fiery Confluence. Yeah, so like they had another unmask there, right? Like I'm not crazy. Yeah, so they unmasked themselves rather than me. Don't know that I like that. Ask the opponent not to do that. We'll just play it out and see how it goes, huh? Now, they may just have an out to this. They may just, like, you know, Faithless Looting, get Tidespout Tyrant or Ashen Rider and wreck me. An opponent just, like... Oh, yeah, okay. I see. So I think my opponent 100% had this one locked up, close to unwinnable, and potentially punted it away. Yeah, they need Ashen Rider or Tidespout Tyrant. Those are the outs. Do I just want to get these countered? No, I guess I can put the first one into place safely, pay for it, and then let the second one get countered. And then I can just, like, stack up goblins via Ensnaring Bridge. Note that I do want to go Hellbent. I do not want to attack my goblins into Grizzlebrand. Yeah, so my opponent chose to unmask themselves so that they could go and put a Chancellor into play rather than unmask me and eliminate my outs. Opponent, do you like casting spells? Can my opponent win now? Now they would be on, like, multiple petals, hardcast something. Yeah, they're done. They're done. All right. So again, playing improper Graveyard Hate is definitely going to bite us in the butt. So let's play Relic, Trinisphere, Spyglass, Thought Knots. I don't remember where we came down on Deadbringers and Dead Guns. I'm going to start sideboarding and then try to remember. So I know I cut these. I know I cut these. think I cut some of these. And the moons. And the suns. And then played all of these. Blood Sun, just to keep my own city of traders around, might be better than, say, Endbringer. Endbringer's great if it gets in play and everything, but like the times where I get 6 mana and my opponent has not already obliterated me are kind of weird. No, I think you keep Fiery Confluence in respect of my opponent drawing too many cards with Grizzlebrand, and you like steal one. Yeah, it punishes greed, and my opponent played in like the most like greedy way possible, right? Keep. Feel pretty great about this hand unless my opponent turn ones us, because we're just going to get a huge amount of hate online quickly. Like, we'll get double Relic of Progenitus on turn 1 off City of Traders and be able to hold up popping one of them if we need to by imprinting the Goblin Rabblemaster. Alright, and my opponent has mulled to 4. Can you go off on turn 1 on a mull to 4? Yep, you can. That's frustrating. Just saying again, these were ley lines. I assume that I'm going to lose my bridge to a piece of discard. I mean, it's possible I don't. It'd be wonderful for me. Yes, they have thought seized me. They take my ensnaring bridge. I lose the game. My opponent is at 3, though, so there are worlds where I can beat them. I love that my opponent is exposing their Iona to my double graveyard hate that's here. So I think what needs to happen is I need to play Relic, use my floating mana to pop Relic, draw Fiery Confluence, and then have Red Source as an out next turn. And I think I need to imprint this so that a discard, well, no, that's still a problem. So we need my opponent to redraw 7. And I think it's somewhat likely that they will. Yeah. Dead on board to a red source. Oh, let me get this. It'll feel so good. So any red land, Simian Spirit Guide will do it. Will my opponent punish me for having suboptimal graveyard hate again? Twice in one game? Nope. Alright, that's disappointing. That is further disappointing. Let's see what I can do. I'll get one redraw off of Relic to do 2 damage. There was my red source for it. I do think I want this redraw right now, rather than holding it. Well, that is technically something. I have to play City of Traders in order to cast that, but I think that's fine. Just fistful of actual reanimation spells. Oh, great. So they get it back via a reanimation spell no matter what. So I have basically no outs if they play Serenity. So I think I need to take their Serenity. This gives them the Ashen Rider. Yeah. Yeah. And I believe that is the correct line over exiling the Thought-Knots here. Alright, so we had a very real chance to win that game. But my opponent's Mold of 4 was just absolutely insane. I'll be running this back as is, and we'll see what we can do with it. I would like to play first. Again, if this was Tormod's Crypt or Leyline, this hand is so much better. It's still a keep. But if I could have Spyglassed and held up Relic, that's just so much more optimal than just holding up Relic. Or if that was a Leyline, and I could have Spyglassed on turn 1 as well. Alright, so they unmask me. Goodbye, bridge. They have a fetch land, they'll play the fetch land out here. Alright, Cabal Therapy. Take that. Yep. And I will just be sitting on this Relic this game until it gets to exile a creature that's in the graveyard in response to a reanimation spell. That is a fine draw. That's disruption and a clock. That's what I'm looking for. You would like to entomb in response, would you? I would like to remove a card from your graveyard in response. Goodbye, entomb. And I would like to take your Animate Dead, leaving you with 2 uncastable fatties in hand. My opponent gets 5 turns to draw out of this through Graveyard Hate, and they just concede, so we end up with a 3-2 here. The night is young. Let's rebuild this deck list now. So let's go Phil, Chandra, Stompy. So as far as the main deck goes, I want the Ratchet Bomb out. And I think I still do want these out. For 2 Trinispheres and 2 Abrades. Alright, I'm going to have to place an order real quick. Alright, so I want 2 Abrades. And then let's rebuild this sideboard. And like, let's basically scrap all of it. Hey. Alright. I forget which of these cards I want. So I'm going to want 3 Scab Clans for the sideboard. Do I own ley lines? I want 4 ley lines. What else is usually in my sideboards? Let's go to one of these. So let's go to one of these prior to Karn, actually. So probably want about 1 more piece of Graveyard Hate. Do I have Tormod's Crypts? No, I don't have Tormod's Crypts. So I want 1 Tormod's Crypt. I'll want some additional removal spell. I don't know if I actually want to play Dead Gone, or if I just want 2 more Abrades. I mean, I'm all about hearing about Scab Clan. Lay it on me. So let's play 2 more Abrades to be able to go up to the full playset of that. So that would be 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd have 3 more slots in the sideboard to go and play around with. I should have something for Merit Lodge decks. It could just be more Blood Suns. I wouldn't hate that. Because then if Blood Moon's bad, I can swap in Blood Sun for some matchups. And be perfectly content with that. Yeah, let's play 2 Blood Sun. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with Spyglasses. Every red prison player playing the most powerful lockdown in the format has resigned themselves to playing a mediocre 3-drop from a medium set. Yeah, Bridges and Spyglasses are okay against Merit Lodge tokens. Maybe I should just play 1 more Spyglass and just play 3. The other thing I could slide in here is Sulfur Elementals. But I don't think D&T is good, so like we probably don't need to bully them further. Let's take a moment to give a big shout out to one of my sponsors, Card Hoarder, for making it possible for me to go and borrow all these cards. So I'm going to play 4 Braids, 3 Scab Clans, 1, 2, 3. Scab plans whopping 4 cents each, folks. Get them cheap. So Leyline of the Void. Let's get 4 of those. 1 Sorcerer Spyglass. 1 Tormod's Crypt. I already have my Braids and 2 Blood Suns. 4, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15 cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 cards. Check out. I do have enough in my balance to just go and pick those up. All right. So it's 7:37 right now. Let's see how long it takes Card Hoarder to get me my cards. Yeah, I've played Volcanic Fallout in the past and been pretty happy with that card. It's not the best in a Delver metagame necessarily because of the splashback damage on you. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not the best against all of the Delver decks because of the splash damage on you, but if they're playing Delver decks that are non-green and it's actually going to kill all of their creatures, it's really good. It's so nice that, other than the entire main board, this deck is so affordable. I assume these are expensive right now, because like this is a standard card that is this card good in standard? I don't understand standard. I don't know anything about it. But it seems like this card should be good. 1 minute is the answer. It took Card Hoarder 1 minute to go and get me my cards after placing an order. They're great. I'm so happy for the support that they have given me as a Legacy player, and more generally that they have given to the whole Legacy community. I can't say enough good things about them. Oh, okay. When I got my Ancient Tombs, they were like 50 or 60 bucks each. So that was the background that I'm coming from. Do those get reprinted in some side set? Those aren't reserve list, right? Yeah, okay, Ultimate Masters. That's right, that's right. Alright, so I already got my Braids. Blood Sun. Let's add 2 to the sideboard. Let's add 1 more of these to the sideboard. Scab Clan is the last thing. Dash, dash. Alright, so we have a deck. Shout out to my other sponsor, Cardboard Live, for going and making it really easy to go and show you what deck list I'm playing, even if I go and switch midstream. Clear, stream Magic Online, upload deck list, desktop, fill Chandra Stompy V2, upload. Deck uploaded. Good job. Update stream. And just confirm. Do I see a Braids? I do see a Braids. So let's battle. Legacy League, Phil, Chandra, Stompy. Let's fight. Battle. I don't necessarily know that I'll finish this entire league tonight. But that first one went quick. Like, I think I started streaming around 6, so like an hour and 40 minutes for a league. But yeah, we can probably fit another in. We ended up 3-2 in the last league. We beat Reanimator in the final round. Well, this card's really good. I'll be shipping this hand, obviously. Keep. We get Chalice on turn 1. I think I'm going to plan on mooning my opponent. Actually, I think I'm going to throw back my Trinisphere because I don't think I'm likely to cast it in the next few turns anyway, and it's not red, so it doesn't pitch to the Chrome Mox. So I'm going to junk my Trinisphere here. Let's play Chrome Mox. I'll junk my Blood Sun to it, and then play the Chalice. Does Twitch not like me mooning people on stream? Too bad. See, I thought that was a dirty name too at first, and then I realized it was actually just like a last name. I hope we're not playing against like a Stoneblade deck and they just get like island planes out of that. Crystal Vein is something that's a fine budget option, but in this deck, it's not necessarily the best. Because you want consistent access to your mana. So for example, we're playing a bunch of 6-drops, right? So if you use it as a one-shot to like play a Chalice of the Void, it's not necessarily the greatest in the long run. But hey, for getting the job done for a little while, it's okay. I'm going to Blood Sun rather than Blood Moon here, because my opponent might just like let it resolve and double fetch if they're like some sort of like fair-ish control deck and not really care about it. And then that opens the door to me just resolving Chandra, Awakened Inferno very soon. Counterbalance. All right. Please resolve, please resolve. Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want a Swords to Plowshares? Chalice, friend. I think not. Lightning Bolt! I'm just absolutely flummoxed, to use a fancy word, that my opponent has Lightning Bolt in this deck, whatever it is. I assume it's some sort of like Miracles type thing. They weren't Snowlands, so it's not an Arkham's Astrolabe deck. Yeah, some sort of Wrenn and 6 Miracles deck. I think that's reasonable. So I don't think I want Blood Moons. I think I want Blood Suns to help me go and just like cast these as effectively as possible. And I think I just like my deck for this matchup. I'm going to board out my bridges. My opponent probably doesn't have too many creatures. And I'll probably keep an Abrade or two just like to have something that can go and answer a Mentor. Yeah, let's run it like this. Rancid Oyster, thank you very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the content. This is a easy keep. Less easy is how I'll play out this game. But I think it's going to be Snow-Covered Mountain, Exiled Chalice to play Spirit Guide. EE on 0, you say? I am going to Spyglass that away. But I think I played Trinisphere is awkward. No, I want to play Mountain turn 1. I'm just trying to think if it's worth it to Spirit Guide in order to play a Spyglass on turn 1 to stop potential fetch lands that are in their hand. I think the answer is yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, opponent. Enjoy your island and engineered explosives. Oh, this is the rudest. It is not kind. I'm even going to have like the luxury to not even have to get rid of this EE, at least for a little while. Yeah, my opponent not going to be a happy camper over there. I think it's worth it to lose my land in order to Scab Clan Berserker. Like, my opponent can't force it or anything. So this thing gets renowned immediately. My opponent is at least 2 turns away from answering it. So I'm going to get a ton of damage out of it. All right, real question. Do I just name Flooded Strand with this Sorceress Spyglass? I'm doing it. I think my little Scab Clan Berserker that could is probably going all the way, or very close to it this match. I don't even know that I care about this EE. Like, at some point I can Chalice on one. But if I Chalice on one, I just let them get rid of this. I think on the off chance that something goes wrong, this one's just gonna name Jace. Yep. No, I think I only have 3 spyglasses in there. But, like, why did my opponent have Lightning Bolt? I'm... Like, what is the advantage of going into red? Like, that deep? I'm unsure. Yeah. So I wanted to try that other list from the Japanese event because, like, it obviously did very well there. But this is more my style. I'm pretty comfortable with this list. Oh, Arcanist. Okay. That makes sense. That's the missing piece. That explains the Lightning Bolt. Ah, hey, GG's. I was just talking about why you were, why you were going and running the red. Like, when I saw that Lightning Bolt revealed, I was flabbergasted. Min clued me in. Yeah, and if you take a look at my deck list via the Cardboard Live extension, I'm running 3 Chandra Awakened Infernos. So I don't know how the Miracles and Miracles-esque decks are supposed to realistically beat me. Man, when you're on a miracle strategy and your plan is try to go fast, like, you better have 4 mentors. This turn's super interesting. I'm going to go ahead and Blood Sun here and try to keep my opponent from fetching another color. I think it's very close as to whether or not you should play Blood Sun or Trinisphere here, because they both do different things. I don't really want to play the Trinisphere directly into Counterspell if I can avoid it, though. I don't so much care about that card. Now I'm going to slam the Trinisphere. Alright, opponent gets a Plains. That's quite good for them. It means they can slam a Mentor if they have one. Back to basics. Alright. We'll slow this game down. Blood Sun doing absolute work here. They have a Terminus. That's a pretty acceptable draw. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Bum, 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 bum. Force of Will. That's not where you want that card to be. And they're done with me. Just like that. Okay. So, kind of board like before. Spyglass is in, Berserker's in, Blood Sun's in. What do we do? Bridges out and Moon's out. Making it look easy over here. Mulligan. Keep. I do not tire of the bully hat, no. And we're going to go ahead and ship back the Abrade. We're not going to need that immediately this game. What's it like being pro AF? Well, it's a difficult life. It mostly involves verbally calling your shots so you look smarter than you really are. Counterbalance again? Again? So same strategy as last time. We're going to go ahead and play the Blood Sun first, try to prevent my opponent from getting that other color, and disable their fetch lands. My deck feels so good. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? If my opponent had a 3 available on their Ponder, it's probably what's on top of their library right now. Nope, they revealed Snapcaster Mage. How's that going for you? Okay. Okay. So that's a good Planeswalker. I've got something for you, though. You tell me how you feel about it. Do you have a Terminus on top? Oh, no flip. Didn't want to see if you couldn't counter my spell. I could minus and kill that Teferi, but I don't actually think that it matters that much. Well, you can bounce some of this stuff, but this is the problem card. The damage might already be done, though, if we're being completely honest. So I can go 3 for my Chalice and 3 for my Blood Sun. So let's Blood Sun first. It's a Flooded Strand. Cool. Scab Clan Berserker. How do I feel about just, like, running that out there over Chalice? It's weird. I think I'll Chalice first. So now the kind of cool thing about my turn is I can redeploy the Chalice. This card's obnoxious to cast with Trinisphere in play. X is currently 1. Done. Pay. Done. So let's see if there's a 2 on top. Nope, there is a Ponder on top. Alright. So now I can Scab Clan Berserker. Let's see if we can attack and kill the Teferi. Snapcaster Mage may Ambush Viper this. Yeah, and that's fine. Yay! And my opponent's just done with me. Chandra Emblem, too strong. Blood Suns are great. So, it's the last 2 rounds show. If you want to bully miracles, play Chandra Awakened Inferno in your deck. This deck list definitely feels a little smoother than the last one. I like having more lock pieces available to me in the early game, and I am much more comfortable with this sideboard plan than the sideboard plan that involved the Eldrazi. I mean, Blood Sun has been insane for me here. Like, the ability to keep my own city of traders around has been absolutely clutch. I would like to play first. Ugh! This hand is so fair. So fair. It's fine to good against a Delver deck, unplayable versus a combo deck, acceptable versus a deck like D&T. Do I have information about my opponent? Let's check that. Nope, I just know that they play Dredge and Vintage. I think I'm going to try to do better than this one. This is not better than that last one. Keep? I'll keep 5 of these. So I'm going to keep Chromox, Spirit Guide, Mountain, Chalice, X. 1 Chandra is going back, and then 1 of the other Chandra or Rabblemaster goes back. I think I pitched the Chandra and just hope to spike a land to play turn 2 Rabblemaster, and hope that that's good enough for this hand. All right, all in. All right. I like this start. I like this start. Come on, land. All right. Can't win them all. But Blood Moon, often good against Misty Rainforest. Stoneforge? Pride Mage. That is very strong. A Braid would be a sick rip. Nope. So my next question is, like, what is my opponent playing? Maverick Splash Blue for Leovold? Some sort of a Lurin deck? Most is a possibility. Alright, I don't think my Rabble Master is going to be good this game. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch it. I think I'm going to try to make it awkward for my opponent to cast multiple... Okay. For my opponent to cast multiple spells in a turn. So I wonder if my opponent is like some sort of Bant True Name Nemesis deck that's just more green than normal. Don't daze me, bro. No! Oh, that was going to be so good. Still a little unsure kind of what's going on with my opponent's deck list. Is it like True Names and Knights? Is the blue mostly there for cantrips and ponders? And brainstorms? I don't think it's Nick Fit. Blue for Hydroid Crassus? Possibly. Blue for Muldrifter. No attack with Noble Hierarch. That's also confusing. I guess they have Swords to Plowshares, but it seems like that was an easy 2 damage. And if I make a Goblin token, that doesn't seem like it matters. Ensnaring Bridge not beating these Noble Hierarchs, by the way. They still get to attack through that. So I'm dead on board to a fetch land or something, right? How big is this knight? 5, 6, 7? No, I'm not dead on board to a fetch land. I'd really like to see another card or two out of my opponent. Yeah, so that doesn't actually give me an out. Okay. Abrades for small removal seem good. Spyglass is probably good against my opponent. Like they have knights, they presumably have some utility lands, maybe some equipment in there. I don't know that I want to load up on them, but I'll probably want some. And Blood Sun's probably also okay. Trinisphere is probably bad. Chalice is probably questionable, but maybe still worth playing. Like, my opponent is going to have mana dorks plus cantrips plus also like green sun for X equals 0. The Rabble Masters are also a little bit questionable since my opponent presumably has Batterskull in their deck. So if I don't want to play these and I just want to finish with all my Chandras, I need to board in one more card. And I guess that's Sorceress Spyglass, and then I can keep these on 1 and potentially 2 as we get into the mid-game. I think that's fine. I would like to play first. I know I play 3 of you because I really like you, but like you all don't need to show up at the same time. This is a turn 2 ensnaring bridge holding double Chandra Awakened Inferno. I don't think that's good. Our opening hands this game have been absolutely atrocious. I think I'm going to need to keep this one and just try to play fair with it. I don't think going to 5 is going to put me in a wonderful position. I think I'm going to junk my Spyglass here. Yeah, I agree. My 5-card hands with a single hate piece are probably not going to lock my opponent out hard enough that is actually worth me doing it. But this hand just really doesn't feel good. I actually think Mono Red Prison mulligans once to twice quite well. Because at the beginning of the game, you're really looking to have one good card in play against a combo or control deck. It's against the mid-range decks where your middling hands really suffer. Well, this is great. So we can beat Daze by pitching a Spirit Guide, but Force of Will kind of sucks because it grows the Tarmogoyf. Well, that's some BS. Really dislike that. So I don't get X-Spells either, right? Yeah. Bridge it is. I think I'm not going to just like pitch the Spirit Guides to save some life here. I think I'm going to use my life as a resource, take a hit, and then hardcast a Simian Spirit Guide. Fuck, opponent's draw here is absolutely insane against everything that I want to be doing. Now I'm gonna, like, pitch a Spirit Guide to a Spirit Guide. That's awful. I can't cast this anytime soon. So we're just gonna throw that out there. Nature's Chant. Alright. Fair. What was I saying about my opponent's hand being perfect? Well, this trash deck is obliterating me. I'm not going to make an attack because clearly my opponent is going to have a removal spell for one of these Spirit Guides. And I'll just go to 2 if I attack with one of them. My opponent just have, like, Force of Vigor now. I'm just gonna, like, lose my shit if they have Force of Vigor. Exile my Chrome Mox and Blood Moon. Oh, shit. Oh, I see what's going on. It's Force of Vigor plus Teague. Yeah, you're right. And they've figured that out now. So the good news is my opponent can't get rid of my Blood Moon right now. Bad news is fuck this Tarmogoyf. I mean, what? So if I braid this Teague, I take 5. And then I can play Chalice, but that doesn't really get me anywhere. I think I need to just, like, chump block with this for another turn. Also, if my opponent does have Force of Vigor in hand, I think they should be attacking with Gaddock Teague. Because then in my upkeep, they can get my Moon and my Chrome Mox. And keep me from playing 4-drops anyway. Yeah, Force of Vigor is nuts. The number of times I've gone, I can't possibly lose from this position, and then I lose to Force of Vigor. It's double digits now. Mostly out of land-based decks. like depths and lands. All right, we were never beating that draw in a million years. All right, folks, I'm going to take 30 seconds and run to the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, let's get back to it and jump back in the queue. For anyone who wasn't here at the beginning of the stream, hello, my name's Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy, death, and taxes. Today we're playing with Red Prison. We went 3-2 in the first league with a deck list that I found, and now we're 2-1 with a deck list of my own design. We are playing against the Apes of Wrath. Turn 1 Chandra? No, turn 2 Chandra. Potentia, nice. Welcome. It has been a little while. It's partially because I'm streaming a little less with the new job starting up. But that's okay. So I'll be keeping this. Got a couple ways to play this out, but can probably have a pretty crazy aggressive hand of turn 1 Rabble Master into turn 2 Chandra. Depending on what we draw. Well, I guess like not depending on what we draw, but like depending on what I draw, I might play this game out a little differently. Hopefully this isn't show and tell. That's not a great matchup. Bottom with the Preordain. A Braid. So I could go City, Chrome Mox, Imprint, a Braid, Pitch Spirit Guide, turn 1 Chandra. I might just YOLO and do that. Yeah, let's YOLO and do that. This is just so good if it resolves. And it resolves. If we're playing against Show and Tell, it can also help find me some gas. Oh man, I really wish I could have drawn that. So if this is a Show and Tell deck, we can't beat the Omniscience kill via, like, release the ants. This still could be Show and Tell. Probably not now that they took the Rabble Master. If I hit one of my two fiery confluences, I really will want to have played this land. But if I hit moon or sun, I want to not play the land. I will not cast Chandra, Awakened Inferno. You forgot Ant exists. Ant is very much existing. So, like, could be Ant, could be a Grixis to 4-color mid-range deck. Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. Do I just moon, or do I play that? I think I'd play this. So this does 1 less damage this turn, but opts for a lot more damage next turn. So next turn, I make a token, I attack in for 6, I Chandra minus, get 5 out of it, and it's lethal next turn. So I think it's correct to go ahead and do that. They get 1 more life to work with this turn, and then they die. So the question here becomes, do I just board for Ant? I think the answer is yes. So I'll probably, like, begrudgingly play Leyline, I'll probably play Scab Clans, I'll play Tormods, and, like, this stuff will depend on how much stuff I have to take out of my deck, but, like, this stuff isn't really exciting. So Braids are pretty bad, but, like, maybe I'll keep some because they do get artifacts that are played out in fear of Trinisphere. Blood Moon and Blood Sun are both medium. This Chandra is probably too slow to really matter in the matchup. So if I were to board like this, I'd have Rabbles, Spirit Guides, Scab Clans, and Chandras to kill, and a handful of lock pieces, 7 of which are good, 6 of which are medium. Some of the Abrades might be better. Some number of Abrades or Spyglasses might be better than the Moon effects. Gravekey, thank you very much for throwing your Twitch Prime this way this month. I hope you're enjoying the Blood Moon, Blood Sun, Chandra action. All right. I think I'm going to do it like this. The Blood Moon and Blood Suns are pretty medium. I think Moon is better than Sun, but it's pretty close. This hand is not good enough. My opponent is mulligan. So I have 2 hate pieces in hand, one of which is in play on turn 0, one of which is in play on turn 3. I'm going to begrudgingly keep this hand. I'm not happy. But Leyline of the Void does a lot more work against Ant than people initially realize. The other thing that's good about this hand is that a lot of my top decks are going to be very good. Like, most non-land draws are going to be good. Not that one. That one still kind of sucks. Yeah, like Chalice off the top is great. Trinisphere off the top is great. So Gravekey, my thought is that Chandra Awakened Inferno is one of the best cards in Legacy right now that is seeing basically no play. To just rephrase for clarity, I think that card is too good to be seeing basically zero play. So I wanted to try and build a deck around that, and I don't think you can make the deck work well with Karns and Chandras. I think your sideboard slots just get eaten up too much by Karn. I expect to just get Thoughtseize this turn and lose my Scab Clan. Yo! So good! This is the potential that we kept this hand for, right? So now we get to Scab Clan, then we have 3 different permanent types, and my opponent can't cast a single spell since they're on 2 lands. And 100% willing to lose my land instead of playing Blood Moon first to just get this the Scab Clan in play. And yes, I'm aware that I can Chandra and then Scab Clan next turn. But have you read this card? Nice. Win that match, move up to 3-1. Yeah, there's a great quote from a podcast that was posted earlier in here. All the red prison players playing the most powerful lock deck in the format have resorted to playing a mediocre 3-drop from a medium set. But it just has that perfect combination of text to just be absolutely amazing in this deck. So definitely feel absolutely great about this deck list that I crafted up here. I think this is a definite improvement over what we played in the first half of the stream. Would be super confident in taking this to an event. I actually might do that this weekend. I've got a paper event this weekend in Charlotte that I'm going to be going to. Yeah, I'm very used to winning games of Magic with mediocre cards. Why is Flicker Wisp even good? What does that card do? It basically does nothing. Alright. So I think this one is probably going to end up being my last match of the night. 10 matches of Red Prison in a stream. Seems like about my limit. I would keep the crap out of this as a 6-card hand and be super happy with it. I think I'm going to keep this and accept turn 2 Blood Sun as being acceptable for an opening hand. This one's mana heavy, but when I have Blood Sun specifically, the City of Traders turn into mana-producing lands for the entirety of the game, and we have Chandra, Awaken, Inferno to draw into, so I think this is okay. This is definitely straddling the line between Keep and Mulligan, though. Man, I've been playing a lot of D&T for a long time, and recently I started playing modern D&T. This Blood Sun Keep is probably going to be very strong against this opener. Holy shit. All right. That is a strong start. That is a strong start. This mitigates some of the Wrenn and 6 issues. Not all of them, but some. Can they still cycle Tranquil Thicket? I feel like yes. Huntmaster. All right. Double Abrade? Huh. If circumstances were a little bit different, and my opponent didn't have Wrenn and 6, I would be all about double abrading Mox Diamond. But I think I just let my opponent's mana go and just answer their board. And I think I'm just going to clear the board so I have a better chance at, like, actually getting through at the Wrenn and 6. This uses my mana efficiently. Yeah, that's what I thought. So much for stopping the abilities of lands, Blood Sun. You had one job. Alright. So I think we're playing against some sort of, like, Matt Soul style, like, Jund Sylvan Plug deck. So let's go 2 damage to each creature and destroy 1 Mox. I don't think a Chalice on 1 or 0 is going to do me any good. I'll probably end up putting a Chalice on 2 at some point. I'm not sure exactly what this deck list looks like as of right now. Man, I thought that rules change was going to kill Red Prison. Like, I thought, like, once you couldn't Fiery Confluence away at Jace, that the deck was done. My opponent realizing that they can't actually Wasteland me is good. I guess I'm punished for not playing out the Chalice on 0. So I go 1, 2, 3. All right. So I don't know that my opponent is actually playing any 2-drops. I don't know that for sure. But it's basically free for me to play that out. Note, I'm not really scared of the Ren and 6 emblem as of right now, so I think this is just like draw an additional card each turn from my opponent, which is fine and all, but they're at 12 life and I'm at 20. I have bombs like Chandra, Awakened Inferno to draw into. It may take my opponent a very long time to kill me. That's a little obnoxious. Do I want to just... Does this hit Planeswalkers? 1 damage to any target. Yeah, it can. Alright. Planeswalker duel it is. Opponent's at 10. They can find a piece of removal, kill my Spirit Guide, attack my Chandra. I guess, like, then what is the question? Alright, so they have some mediocre cards themselves. Yeah, I think they're obligated to offer that trade. I think I will take it. Plus, find Chandra, Awaken Inferno. I will not cast Trinisphere. They have the card selection of Sylvan Library on their side. I'm hoping to get one more ping with a Chandra so that Fiery Confluence becomes a top deck lethal out. Although I guess I only have one of those in there right now. Thragtusk? I don't even know what it is at that much mana. Legit 6 mana. Sorry, Green Sun for Titania. That is terrifying. I'm kind of confused about what happened. I thought my opponent wastelanded my Ancient Tomb, but I still have my Ancient Tomb. Oh, they wastelanded their Ancient Tomb. I see. I see. Got it, got it, got it. Thank you. Alright. Plus. Chalice of the Void. Cast? No. Opponent goes to 6. Opponent can hit me for 15. But that's probably not happening. They probably have to kill my Chandra. So I will get Fiery Confluence, Ensnaring Bridge as outs. I'm at 18 now. 5, 10, 15. This is 16. They would need a Punishing Fire to kill me. You have something bigger than that to green sun for? Yeah, I guess Punishing Fire isn't an out since I have Chalice of the Void. Ooh, look, a Spirit Guide. Medea Magica's Chandra Torch of Defiance is being attacked by Elemental Token, and Titania. I was hellbent. It had 7. You could have hit me for 5. Not that that's likely to matter, but, you know. None of these trample, right? No. Yeah, I'm fine with being dead a turn down the line. I'm just trying not to be dead now. If opponent can like Green Sun for a Thragtusk, and they gain any life, I'm down to just like Bridge as an out, and then Ren and 6 over 3 activations will kill me. Represent the Fiery Confluence. Concede. Alright, so Spyglass seems great against the Ren and 6 deck. Blood Sun seems strong. Abrade seems strong. Chalice seems weak. Trinisphere seems weak, and that would be a perfect in-out. I can also consider playing the Tormod's Crypt to like try and get some of my opponent's graveyard-based synergy off the table. But I don't think Crypt is actually strong enough to be good. Turn 2, Blood Sun. I think I'm going to keep this. Against the fair decks, I don't necessarily need to go turbo with the hate. Yeah, I don't know what it is about me drawing multiple of these at the same time, but it keeps happening. Like, I've drawn 3 of 3 in my opening hand. I think, like, 3 different games this stream. And I don't mind, because, like, the extra ones I draw end up getting, like, pitched to Chrome Mox or something like that. So, like, they have their uses. Yeah, Blood Sun cantripping is fine, and it helps make it okay to keep some of the slightly shakier hands. So, like, now we'll get Chandra next turn. A toxic deluge, you say? Cool. Beat that. Hello and good luck. So I could kill this, but I don't really care. Well, it does some things, but I think just giving them infinite numbers of Chandra emblems is probably better than the, like, somewhat marginal amount of life they're going to get from this. Opponent F6, so they're drawing that Mox Diamond. They may or may not have wanted to. Whatever it is, it's big. Green Sun? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had the Blood Sun in play. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, you have Plague Engineer. That's fine. So, do I just keep plussing the Chandra? I could -4, answer the Courser. And then I can just keep plussing and keep the Plague Engineer at bay. That's probably fine. Green Sun X equals 4. What do you have it for? Huntmaster. Huntmaster's not bad. I need to draw a relevant card here. I needed to draw literally anything that I could cast so that this wouldn't transform. Because it transforming is kind of obnoxious for me. And I'm now at a very inconvenient number as far as loyalty goes. So if I plus my Chandra, I put them on a 5-turn clock. But Huntsmaster will transform and could potentially gain them some life, and like when it transforms back. I think I've got to nug that. get it out of there. And then they're ahead on clock, but assuming that I draw like basically anything outside of Goblin Rabblemaster, I feel pretty good. Yeah, that's not scary as of right now. This is scary though. All right, I need something that impacts the board. All right, you have another Sylvan Library. I mean, even Spirit Guides are like fine here. A Chandra of either nature is absolutely insane. Fiery Confluence is amazing. A Braid is good. Yeah, so great, 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 bad, not great, amazing, great, great. All right, so I need to take some bodies off the battlefield here, or do some damage to my opponent. I don't need to actually use that. No, I feel like our deck's pretty great. However, if that keeps happening, there's not much that I can do. So we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana producing cards to 5, 6, 7. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks, but we've just like drawn almost all of the lands after starting the game. So Fiery Confluence is lethal. Redraw 4 Fiery Confluence. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? That's an unfortunate loss. Because I definitely feel like we were the better positioned deck there. Yep. I mean, it is what it is. This deck list's great. 100% would be willing to run this back. I don't think I'd make any changes before playing another league with it. Feel super well positioned against slow blue decks like Miracles and 4-color control, while also having a good amount of stuff for combo, and like the main deck bridges plus a Braids are very good versus the combo decks, or sorry, versus the Delver decks. Yeah, you're just in time for the end of the stream. So, folks, that's all I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed. I'll probably be back on Saturday morning for sure, but I might try to go and get another stream going at some point this week and maybe play some Modern. If you've enjoyed, please consider following. And if you're really enjoying, please consider doing a donation or something else to support my content. And I've got daily D&T going on YouTube. I believe this week's is an aggro D&T deck that's pretty cool. Was that this one? I think, no, I think I had one that was entirely without Stoneforge Mystic that I played with this week. This one? Yeah, I think this was the one that I used for daily D&T this week. And then daily D&T next week is a real abomination. It's a blue, white, red D&T list featuring Spell Queller. That one was very, very, very spicy. All right, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to my friend Arkin for some more Legacy action. 100% with you, JD. Let's raid Arkin.